You know, guys, I gotta be honest with you. I did come to the conclusion that we have to let HaShem, you know, do his work. Meaning, we have to stop arguing about this whole situation. We have to stop, pontificating about it in terms of the fact that it's a very, very bad deal. But I'll tell you guys, when I said that just before Shabbat, and I said it actually on Shabbat at a meal. I told some friends I didn't realize that what I was saying would be so real. What do I mean by that? After Shabbat got out, I found out that the people that we people the creatures that we released from our prisons, from Israeli prisons, uh, one of them murdered Ari Fold, a blessed memory, the tzaddik Ari Fold, and another one murdered a girl by the name of Ori Ansbacher, if you guys remember. If I'm not mistaken, it was in Jerusalem Forest. I could be wrong. I'm not even going to go into what he did before he did that, or what he did and then in between, the actual act of murdering her. I'm not going to go into it. And so, guys, my words have never been more true, or have never been more real. We have to allow. Not only we have to allow, but it seems like we don't really have any other solution. We don't have any other choice but to just let Hashem handle this, because we're not capable. By we, I mean the people of Israel. We're not capable of removing a government. It doesn't matter if they're left wing, right wing, center, Haredi, Datilumi, lefty, far left, whatever, right? We're not capable of removing an entity in its totality that, claims to rule over us, that does not follow the Torah ever. And folks, I'll be the first to tell you, meaning, we can't even, at this point, we can't even ask them to follow the Torah now, because, it's pointless. Not that it's pointless, but now we have these people who are hostages. So what are you going to do? You're going to tell everybody, oh, we're going to follow the Torah. We're not going to exchange anybody for your kids, right? Now we've put ourselves in a bind, right? So we couldn't even follow the Torah if we wanted to. We couldn't follow the Torah if we wanted to, because we never followed the Torah. Not we, but our evil loser government never followed the Torah, right? When we were attacked, they allowed us. First of all, they allowed us to be attacked. Prior to that, they gave up land, and gave it to orcs, to an orc factory, right? Which is Gaza. Where little children are born as normal little children, like human children, and then they're turned into orcs by their society, right? So we gave it to this entity, right? And then these orcs did what they did to us. Eventually, they kept firing rockets and rockets and rockets and rockets for 18 years, and then eventually they did what they did on October 7th. And we allowed them to do this. Our government folks, our government allowed them to do this for their own political games, right? They did. They allowed them. There's no doubt about it. Okay, you can call me conspiracy theorist. You can call me whatever you want. 7 hours. Our mighty army and our mighty air force did not show up for 7 hours. A couple of guys here and there fighting, I don't know, a whole army, a whole unit of these orcs, right? So, and then, we kind of started this war, and the war has been going on and on and on and on, and with starts and stops and pauses and political, and these so-called negotiations with the Obama 3.0, Biden, where they always threaten to withhold weapons. Folks, it's a miracle Israel's still intact as a country, as a state. I don't know. It's a miracle. Hashem watches over Israel, and Baruch Hashem. And now we've gone to this point, right? So at every stage of the game, I mean, it's not a game, but every stage of this whole thing, not one moment has been done according to how Hashem would have us do it. How Hashem would have us follow the Torah according to, waging war according to the Torah, right? So there's no, at this point, it's a moot point, right? So, my friends, I just want to say that, we are such a low point, and, we are in the weeks right now of the book of Exodus, Shmot, right? Where we're literally just begging Hashem to just let us go. Moshe Rabbeinu is begging Pharaoh to let us go. And then Hashem sends the plagues, and then finally we're released. This week's parsha is 7 plagues, next week's parsha is 3 plagues, and then finally we're released. And then but like before that, Pharaoh has a change of heart. And it's this whole thing, this whole story, right? And then we leave, and then they chase us, and then the sea splits. My friends, that's all Hashem. We don't even have a Moshe Rabbeinu. We don't even have leaders anymore. Bibi's not a leader. Whomever's not a leader. The generals are not leaders. No one's a leader. We're rudderless. We're leaderless. So I just want to say we should all. I'm saying this. Everybody else should say this. We have to literally get down on our knees and say, Hashem, we can't. We're not capable of solving this. Clearly, we're not capable of removing the people that got us into this predicament. And please help us, because just unravel the situation, in our favor and against our enemies. Because you see, I said this kind of dark joke, if we didn't put certain things in certain places, with these so-called people, orcs that we released, where we can like literally detonate some kind of a weapon to like destroy them physically, then our country's screwed. These murderers that we released. My friends, so short of that, we just have to get down on our knees. Yeah, our hostages, whoever is going to come back, right? We will release we will release, right? We are releasing them into the wild, and Hashem has to solve this for us, my friends. Hashem has to solve this for us, because we're not capable of solving it. We're not. We're not. It is what it is, and this is we deserve the people that we supposedly elected, appointed. I don't know how they even got into power, and they're there, and that's it. And we're not going to do anything about it. Clearly, my friends. I mean, like the good people of Israel, the people that are so-called right-wing and normal and traditional, they will not storm the Knesset. They will not call every news station, live on the air and scream. A couple people will go and protest here and there. Otherwise, my friends, I have Israeli friends who are right-wing, normal, and they will not go to the streets to protest. They will sit in their homes and say how awful it is and how sad they are and how they can't even function and how they can't come to, our house for Shabbos and they just want to stay home, and how we can't host people for Shabbos because they want to be alone and leave them alone. My friends, even those good people, they are frozen. I'm sitting in a car and it's snowing outside, guys. And they're just covered in snow and ice. They're frozen in time, right? It's like fight or flight, and they frozen, right? They don't know what to do. The good people, the good ones. So, my friends, we should all implore Hashem to help us in these next, few parshiot, this couple of weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, until, Parsha B'Shalach, where the sea splits, and even after that. My friends, just daven to Hashem. I don't know. You could say, Trump is going to be inaugurated tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe Hamas will slip up and maybe Trump will do something to them and raise hell and give them hell and bring, I don't know, whatever hell he's talking about. He could. I don't know what that's going to look like, guys. But ultimately, guys, we can't rely on anybody but Hashem. I have nothing against President Trump, but we can't rely on anyone but Hashem. Clearly, because we are in such a dark place with snakes and scorpions, and only Hashem can remove us from this with open miracles, with Yad HaZakah, with a strong hand. That's it, guys. Talk to you soon.